Alrighty, y'all. So obviously, I should have made this video way earlier, but your boy didn't end up getting this character until yesterday, so I couldn't do it. But after yesterday, I tried it out, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I know it says there's only 8 hours and 43 minutes left, and I'll try to get this video out as soon as possible. But everybody needs to have this duel. Like, I'm not even, if I had to tell you the characters you are going to need for late game are going to be these two characters, and for a valid reason, I mean you're going to need to have these two characters, right? You're going to need to have Scarlet Black Shadow, which now, especially for an old player, you've had 2 chances of getting, but you're also going to need to have Mana, which is very good that she's not a limited or a pilgrim or anything like that, because you are actually able to get her off the wish list, right? And I would highly recommend you get this character. The reason why is because this character is a massive game changer for the Kraken boss, and the Kraken boss, out of all 5 of the anomaly interception boss, is the boss I feel like everybody would actually want to defeat, right? Or at least get a high scoring on, because that is the only boss out of the 5 that gives you access to custom modules, which I'm going to show you guys, right? The thing is, I didn't realize how crazy Mana was actually. I mean, I knew she was going to be crazy, but I didn't think she was going to give me that big of a jump in terms of damage compared to you know, what I was using before, right? So obviously this is my team right here. I had to kind of work it out though. I was trying different team compositions, right? Obviously because Mana ends up healing herself, I don't necessarily need Naga, right? And I'm not really attacking with core. I mean, I should be when it comes to that one tentacle, but I'm not. But I tried obviously Litter here. I tried Rouge here, just Rouge with Naga, Rouge without Naga. I ended up only putting up Noir just because I ended up using D as well, and D didn't work, and I don't understand the point of using Sakura if I'm not using her as a burst character. But at the same time, it's like I want to use Mana as a burst character as well, right? So for me, I don't really think it like makes sense for me to put D in there or Sakura, unless I'm changing my team to Sakura, Mana, and Rosanna, which I am gonna try, right? I am gonna try that composition, right? But I do feel like these 2 characters, this team specifically, but really these 2 characters are a must-have. I'm gonna show you guys what I was running before and my run for what I was running before compared to the team that I have now. So let me pause, and I'm just gonna actually just cut forward to when I had my old team before I had Mana, and show you guys the difference. So obviously this right here was my team before Mana, and I am going to show you guys what my actual clear score is with this in mock battle, and then I'm going to show you guys what it is with Mana. I do want to just pause real quick and show that obviously, as you guys see here, we're on stage 4 here, and obviously Naga died. That is a big loss in terms of our run here, because by stage 4, Naga will guaranteed basically die. I don't want to say guaranteed die, but at the state I'm at, my count is at the level I'm at, Naga will 100% die being type disadvantage. And remember, by each stage the boss goes up, the more damage they do to the types that they're stronger against. So yes, wind code characters are stronger than iron code characters, yes, but iron code characters are stronger than electric code characters, hence why Naga ended up dying, right? So you guys can kind of see that right there. Now, if you couldn't tell why it's a big loss already, 1, Naga is a key factor for this team. Naga is giving heals towards, you know, Crown, which is giving everybody an attack damage buff, right? Permanently. That attack damage buff being at 20% permanently, basically 21% permanently, is what's like helping this team do a lot more damage. So by losing Naga, you're essentially losing that, and by losing Naga, not only are you losing the buffs that Naga gives herself, yes, the core damage buffs, when we do end up hitting the core hits, either when we're hitting that one tentacle or when we get to the phase where we start hitting the core, and you're also losing heals for the entire team. Now we're in a situation where nobody else here can heal us, right? So we're going to die regardless. And as you can see, just a few seconds left and it's a dead run, right? Litter ended up dying because, again, we didn't have our heals anymore. Scarlet ended up dying because, again, we didn't have our heals anymore. And these characters are just taking damage and sitting there with low HP until the boss ends up attacking again, right? This is a big problem for this team right here, right? Obviously, you know, Naga losing her is a big factor in this run with this specific team comp. But let me put on the team with Mana and show you guys why it's a big huge difference to actually have Mana on your team for the Kraken boss. All right, so as you guys can see, by this point in time, like, the match is already done. I don't even bother with this point because there's no more time, right? But as you guys see, if we quit there, we not only lost half of our team, but we were only able to get to stage 4. And this is how it always is for me with this team comp, right? Beforehand, this is how it always was for me, right? But now with this new team that I like using, even I just think not even putting Litter on the team and just putting in Red Hood Rappy. The reason why I put in Red Hood Rappy is because I do like using her as a burst 1 character. I really do. I think she's a really good character for burst 1. DPS wise is one of the main reasons why I am putting her there, because if you really think about it, her burst 1 effects don't have much to offer, right? Besides the fact that her explosion radius is increased and then she gives an attack buff, right? And that's it. She's given an attack buff, and then obviously in her, like, if she's in burst 1, she is going to have cooldown reduction for the burst skill for all allies, and then also, you know, the attack damage buff as well, which I do think is very helpful. So she's kind of just replacing Litter in a sense on this team and also providing damage, right? But if I put on this team, I can even go full auto with this, and you guys are going to see how much of a difference it makes, right? Obviously us not having Nog on the team, we don't have to really worry about freaking what's it called, we don't have to worry about the type disadvantage, we don't have to worry about dying, we don't have to worry about none of that, right? But by having this composition specifically, even if someone does end up dying, we have a revive built in. If you don't remember, Mana has a built-in revive until, like, literally she has all these the healing, she has the healing and then the attack buff until she revives an ally. And with a comp like this, she's not going to be reviving the ally for quite some time, right? Honestly, I don't even think she's going to revive an ally at all. But when you see here, obviously as being type advantage, don't get me wrong, I do have overload gear for my Mana as well, with strong element as damage, as you guys see here. I'm not really trying to showcase her damage, but just how much of a valuable character she is. You guys can see though, 31 million with strong element as damage. You guys could see down there 3.8 million, 5 point something million. Full burst is coming to an end right now, and boom, she went up from 31 million to 90 million, right? So her damage is going to be good. But you guys can kind of see right here, again, I can just attack this if I really want to, and get that broken. Okay, that's fine. Like, we don't have to worry about these little things. I can actually just play fully on auto too, right? I don't actually have to attack those things. I can play fully on auto. I think with this team, the highest I've got into was 6, and not even like just barely. We don't even have to worry about that because we have a shield. But it wasn't even like, oh, I got to 6 just barely. It's like, I think I got to like halfway of 6, which is so crazy to me because I used to struggle. Before having Mana, I used to struggle to get to 5. I've got there here and there, just barely, right? I used to struggle, but now with this team, I have gotten to 6 quite easily, right? But I was playing manual. This one I'm just going in all auto. But you guys can see there, right? We're easily gonna get into stage 5 right here, right? As you guys can see, I don't really expect us to die at all with this composition, right? Noir is also helping us. She does have the ammo and stuff like that for us, which I think is great. The only thing is she's having a permanent attack buff as well for us, which I do find quite helpful. So it's like, not only is she a win character, which means she won't die, right? I was gonna put D. I was gonna put D on the team if D had worked how I thought she worked initially, where she ended up basically just having strong element the whole time. I would have put D there, but she only has it for like the first 15 seconds, right? Basically, right? As you guys can see, we're losing a lot of, you know, HP here, right? We're losing a lot of HP here. We're healing. Now we have a shield up. As you guys see, we have a minute left and we're already on stage 5 of this boss. So we're on stage 5 of this boss. I don't need to worry about that move right there because again, we have a shield up. If you don't know, the shield is going to kind of just negate that, right? And you guys can see, boom, we got into this part of the stage very easily, right? I think the enemy's still taking damage though because of the sustain, which is good, right? I just don't want, I messed that up. I messed that up by accident. I didn't mean, we're guaranteed dead here. I messed that up. But with Scarlet and all that stuff, we would have been fine. I did mess that up though because I ended up, my mouse just went higher. But you guys can see, not only is the damage from Mana, Scarlet crazy, but obviously having Red Hood Rappy, very cracked DPS. Very cracked DPS. So she's doing damage. Noir is type advantage, so she's doing damage somewhat, and then Crown is also doing damage. Not to mention the buffs we're getting from obviously Red Hood, the buffs we're getting from Noir, the buffs we're getting from Crown, and then Mana is helping out Scarlet big ways with her charge speed. It's just very good. This comp is like, it's a must-have, because by clearing this, even if I got to stage 5 here, like I said, that was a guaranteed nuke, unfortunately, because I ended up messing up there. But we could have easily got to 6 there, I feel like, because I've done it many times before, right? But even just getting to stage 5, that's one full. We barely made it to stage 5 with the other team. This way, we were right there at 6. So, and again, it's just because I had messed up. So I would highly recommend, if you're an older player and you are struggling on getting overload gear, because I feel like that's what endgame player needs, you want to have Mana, you want to have Scarlet, because having this team composition is going to allow you to aim higher against the Kraken, which will give you more rewards for your actual element damage and stuff like that, right? So yeah, that was just a mock battle. I'm gonna actually do my start battle now, but I have things to do, so we're gonna have to put a pause on that. But you guys let me know if this video was helpful or not. Your boy Zxous, I'm out, peace. And let me know what you guys think if you have Mana and you've tried her out. Let me know how much of a difference she's made for your team prior to having her, and then obviously having her. Your boy Zxous, I'm out, peace.